All right, hi everybody, welcome in. I just got up for a second to go get my book, my tarot book, because I just pulled 3 cards. We just did the 3-card tarot draw, and now we're doing the live. So I grabbed my book because I have my notes pulled up on the 7 of Swords, but I want to see what this book that I have here, what this has to offer as far as swords. I don't really like this card, and I don't want to project my own feelings and opinions on that, but I'm going to go ahead and say I don't like the 7 of Swords, so I'm pulling out the big dogs. This is the book that I've used over the years. Of course, there's lots of literature online, but sometimes I just like having a book. So what's going on? Somebody here could be withholding information. Right now, this is for whoever should tune in or whoever resonates with this message, but somebody here is going through some kind of a reflection or an assessment of some kind. For anybody who joins me during the lives, or for anybody who's followed this channel, you guys will see this card and you will recognize it because we just had it probably, I want to say 2 days ago. This card came through during a reading. So this part of the message still stands. It's still resonating. There's something that is still energetically marinating. There's still something energy that is still working or trying to work itself out. Because if you remember, let me turn down my computer volume. If you guys remember from the last reading, which is still posted on my account, this was in reverse. So right there, that tells me that there is a shift in the air. Swords are connected to the air zodiacs, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. So we are assessing something. There's infinite opportunities. So this is feeling like this is a good or a positive story, theme, line, whatever. But I want to check it a little bit further. So before I jump into my notes, I want to unpack this card. So this card shows up when there's some kind of difficulty. And I feel like, again, this difficulty is connected to 3 different themes or areas of your life. One is going to be finances. One is going to be family. One could be friends. Sometimes our friends are the family we choose. And it could be connected to your fate, or like karma, karmic lessons, karmic baggage, karmic entanglement. For anybody who believes in that, I do. So I'm just going to offer that. Also, you know what you know. This is a psychic card. This card right here, the High Priestess, has to do with inner knowing. Do you see the lotus leaf? And she's channeling spirit. She's got the, I was going to say the pentagram. Metatron's cube, right? And she's got the earth energy there. So the earth energy. So this is about earthing yourself, finding truth in the ability to ground yourself. So keywords that are associated with this card are deception, theft, a cunning person, selfishness, and dishonesty. So whenever I generally give like a quick overview, I just say somebody's withholding information. So if you guys look at the imagery, there's somebody here who's like, I want to say authority. Like this person's on the up and up, right? Just looking at this energetically, symbolically, from an artistic standpoint or whatever, right? This person's up here and they're leveraging themselves and they are going up and up and up and up. They're planting seeds, they're launching seeds, they're holding some kind of, I want to say authority, not a weapon, because I feel like we associate weapon with harm, but there's some kind of resource. Let's just say this sword here represents resources and infinite resources. And whoever this message is for, either you are on the receiving end of this resource or you are the person holding the resources. I hope that makes sense. I'm going to leave that with you guys, okay? This could be a third-party situation. My notes talk about third-party situations. There's sneaky information, or sneaky energy rather, deceit, withholding information, secrets, lying, betrayal, stealing. So there could be a conversation, because swords, as we know, embody the mind. Swords embody our ego. This is how we're having conversations, friends. This is how we're talking. This is how we're showing up. This is how we could be kind of showing like we're showing our cards and showing or coming off, appearing that we are sharing our resources. But there's something here. I feel like this is for show. I feel like there's something here, it's like a backstabbing energy, cheating. There's some kind of selfish aspect of this. Again, like, yeah, we're a team, but I'm going to go ahead and just take off and I'll catch up with you when I catch up with you. Like, I'll see you on the other side kind of thing. And you're like, wait, like, what about me? Like, I thought, right? So there's something here. I call it fuckery. I apologize if that offends anybody, but that's just how I speak. There's some kind of fuckery going on, and I feel like you know it, or the other person knows it, or I just heard the other person knows that you know it, okay? And so, truth be told. So that also is connected to, as we said, the 3 zodiacs. Libra, which is truth be told, Gemini, which is communication, and the Aquarius, which is like the diplomat of humanitarianism, the diplomat who is like of the people, for the people, right? But I feel like whoever this diplomat is, of the people, for the people, there's an agenda. There's like a double face. This also came through, you guys, the other day. So there's something here about transition, transformation. Somebody's avoiding the truth. And there's a conversation again that needs to be had. Let me just pop over to my book again, because what this book does is it talks about if this is a situation and a person. If this is applying to a situation, the 7 of Swords represents those who could be out to steal your ideas, or somebody again who is spying. So somebody who, again, is like, oh, I'm on your side, but really they're like a plant. Or somebody that's on your side, but they're playing a role. They're performing. Thank you. That's the word I'm looking for. Someone is performing a role. This could, let's say, the work dynamic. Maybe you're in retail and your boss is your friend. They're pretending to be your friend to extract information out of you. And then when you give that information, maybe a day goes by or a couple days goes by and you go into work, and by the way, oh, you're given your notice, or they fire you or something because, right? Deceit. They're putting on the face. They're puppeteering. They're performing. You fall for it because, you know, you are who you are, and whatever this lesson is, again, whatever that angle is, that's not necessarily on the table here, but there's something here to be learned. We'll get into that as the medicine at the end. But as far as this situation goes, there's something here. Since these things are prevalent on the internet, this card could be telling you to adjust your settings or to be careful about what information we share. So as I just kind of intuitively downloaded, I was giving you guys like a for instance. You're in the retail world. You've got a friend who you think is your friend, but they're your boss. You share information, right? Literally, I have it highlighted, y'all. Like that line really resonated. So this is about how you're sharing information. I'm going to say how you show your hand or your cards. There's something here about revealing your cards. And maybe that's where this is the medicine in the sense of like somebody here is going through a right? A leveling up, a self upgrade. We call those downloads. We call it refinement. I call it refinement. Somebody here is being activated. Also, as I say, you're going through some kind of refinement opportunity. This card, again, is connected to infinite possibility. So this is an opportunity for you to connect with your crown chakra. My notes say this card is actually connected, no shit, to the crown chakra. This is also psychic energy. So again, this card is saying, listen, man, listen. People can act and be and put on a show and a dance, and they can be who they want you to think that they are. But when you know what you know because you feel that shit, that's what you want to be listening to. The medicine, the suggestion, the takeaway, the advice, the guidance, whatever the word is there. So I'm not telling you what to do. I would never tell you. I'm simply inviting you to have a look-sees, have a think-sees, review, reassess, as the reading says, reassess. How does this story speak to something that maybe is going on in your life? You might have information and they're talking about be careful. That would be, again, recommendation, a suggestion on how you're sharing your information or revealing your hand. The 7 of Swords is also representing somebody who's being assertive or somebody who is always one step ahead. Okay. So again, to me, that sounds like calculated. Somebody here is calculated, right? Yeah, sure. I'm going to go ahead and make this look amazing, but there's like an agenda. It's calculated. So the book is going on to talk about this, like just being assertive, somebody who's very assertive. The book goes on to give examples. We don't need to do that. I'm sure you guys, I feel confident you already know how this is going to apply or how this is possibly resonating with your own life. If this is a person, so now this book goes into if this is a person, the 7 of Swords will describe a whole range of dishonest people. So it just talks about pinpointing, somebody who tells little white lies, somebody who twists or exaggerates information. Again, like they're playing victim mentality. That could be somebody who twists information. Like they're telling you the truth about a situation, like this situation happened, but they're not being honest or truthful about their part or how they participated in whatever the situation is or whatever the outcome is. I hope this is making sense. You guys are popping in. Hello there. This is a really, really important message for somebody, and I hope that if you're here, that there's something for you here. So the book just goes on again. Keywords that are associated with this card. I have notes, but something said, grab the book. So we're almost done with the book. We're just finishing up key trigger words. I call them trigger words because let's see how you feel when you hear these words. Is there somebody in your life or a situation that's connected to your life patterns, daily choices, family, coworkers, social circles, or just your own karmic entanglement, lessons, things you are here to learn? How does this make you feel when you hear this? Deception. Someone could be stealing, right? Theft. Somebody who's cunning, somebody who's calculated, selfishness or dishonesty. We are done with that book. Let's move on with the rest of the reading and talk about how this now applies to these two major, loud, life-changing. Again, I feel like this is still stemming from the other day for those of you that were with me when we had this card come through. And I don't know if you guys remember, I picked up the bottom of the deck and this card was on the bottom of the deck. And where is it again? I swear to God, I shuffled. It's still at the bottom of the deck. So there's something here to be said. Oh my gosh, we had this card. I shuffled the deck like 15 times. Again, somebody is dealing with some serious shadow work, like transformation. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. 3 is about manifestation. You are trying to better yourself. You are trying to create, manifest, call in. You are inviting, you are seeking, you are searching. This is a 3-party situation. So I know with certainty, this is you and 1 to 2 other people. There's some kind of dynamic going on. Somebody, again, is puppeteering. Somebody is performing. And understand my recommendation, what I would say if I was talking to y'all here at my kitchen table and this was your reading, and you were like, well, shit, what do we do? Well, 1, I would say, first of all, have a check-in right now. How are you feeling hearing this? Is it speaking to you? Is it resonating with you? And if the answer is yes, then let's navigate the conclusion. And if no, that's okay. Not every reading is going to resonate. Not every reading is for you. But the High Priestess is a highly intuitive card. This is about enlightenment. This is also about being patient. Taking your time and talking to your guides. Maybe you don't believe in guides, but I find it hard to believe if you're on this channel. I'm willing to bet you believe in something higher, greater, larger than, whatever you identify or label that. I believe that there is something that we all tune into, whether it's internal, right, in self, or external of self, whatever your system is, you're being asked to align with that energy. Maybe you align with trees and you go out and you sit and you talk to nature, right? Maybe you feed birds or you call the crows, and that's how you align. That's how you receive your downloads. This is about Capricorn, Taurus, and Earth energy, Virgo energy. So again, somebody who just knows the bullshit. Like, you know someone's bullshitting you and you're just like, well, you're trying to hold the space. You're trying to like maybe give them the benefit of the doubt. They're putting you on. You might not know exactly how, where, why, what, but you know, you feel it in your bones. You feel it inside. All the answers you already know. You already have the answers. So this card, another suggestion that I would propose is you're being activated, or a part of this message is for whoever's here, and that you have forgotten a part of your knowing. You're being invited to connect with what you already know. You already have the information. You already have the feeling of something. So the recommendation, again, I keep saying this because I just want to make sure that you guys know that this is you empowering yourselves. You are being invited to remember, to reconnect. And one of the ways we can do that, I personally believe, is through nature, through slowing down, through having downtime. That's why she's sitting. That's why she's chilling. She's connected, having a moment to pause, like this card suggests. Time to slow down and reflect, to revisit. The last card we're going to talk about, and then we're done. That's the reading. Wheel of Fortune. Again, this is about changing fate. Changing fate. So to me, when I hear changing your fate, it's like, no, let's make it a little bit more personal, like a one-to-one, person-to-person call. I would reframe that. My notes say that, but I would reframe that and I would say, taking responsibility. You're being invited right now. There's an opportunity here for somebody to take responsibility. That's what I would say. This to me feels like you're being invited to take responsibility for your life, meaning your attitude, the decisions you make, the emotions you may have around whatever this situation is that is largely transformative. This is a transformation. You're in a cycle right now of transformation. And also, let me just throw in there, because I work with the moon phases, we are coming into a new moon. I couldn't tell you off the top of my head what the zodiac sign is in, but my calendar says the new moon is on the 14th. So a week from today, we have a new moon, new beginning, new energy, something celebrating, right? New moon, new energy, launching, calling in, letting go of all the old things, making space, carving out space, being present, right? A new life cycle is trying to land. A new life cycle is trying to manifest. This is the manifestation card. But in order to do that, friends, we have to really take a moment and look at what is right in front of us. What is playing out right in front of you, right? We need to identify that, name that. We play that game. Name that theme, name that emotion, name that trigger, name that pattern. And when we can do that, when we can acknowledge it, name it, work with it, reconcile it, clear it, let it go, then we can weave through taking responsibility and through the lens of presence, right? Hopefully you guys are still with me here. A outcome, a fortune, it says fortune, good fortune, a future that is more in alignment with what your heart is basically yearning for, what your heart, your purpose is, why you get out of bed every morning, why you go to work every morning, what you spend your days doing. That answer, that drive of what you're doing, this card, what you're trying to achieve, will be in more resonance. It'll be in a higher vibrational space that will attract the people, right? Not this energy. It will attract the people, the opportunities that these two cards are talking about. It will attract those and call those in, as I say, your field. It will call it into your field. So that is the reading. I hope this has made sense. I've done my best to articulate this. I really hope this resonates with you, those of you that are here. I just want to take one more quick peek and make sure that I didn't miss anything. Allow fate to happen. Trust your luck. Don't push the process. So in other words, they're talking about allow things to happen. Yeah, you have to show up and be present and be, part of it. You want to be action oriented on some level, in some capacity. But the other part of that cycle is you also now have to step back and allow, right? You have to step back and allow things to work. As I say, let the universe work for you. Let things play out, right? And then you fine tune, you adjust, you, again, reassess, you make changes, and then you launch again, right? Go back to the drawing board, and then you launch it. And then again, you step back and let it, just like this. The wheel, infinite, infinite, infinite. So hopefully that last little bit clears up or clarifies any confusion or any questions, if any of you have any questions. Allowing fate to happen. It's not just saying, well, I'm going to close my eyes and let go of the wheel, and, well, if we make it, we make it. I'm not saying that. I'm saying you do have to participate, you have to be present, but relinquish some kind of you got to control, and you have to know exactly how it's going to happen, and you have to know exactly where you're going and what time of day, right? We need to let that go and allow aspects of this process unfold and surprise you, because you never know where you're going to land. So in light and love, I hope this resonated, and I'm going to shoot a recap. I will post it on here, and I'll see you guys later this week. Love you guys so much. Thank you so much for co-creating this message. Have a wonderful weekend. See you soon.